In the headlines, police make a drug bust during a recent traffic stop, arresting a 51-year-old local man. An area organization has experts to discuss the environmental impacts of bringing in fourth largest poultry producer in the nation, Sanderson Farms. And after years of service to our community, an area business gets a big award. These stories and more coming up on NewsBreak starting now.
From WHIG-TV, this is NewsBreak 31. Now, here's Marie Torres.
Hello and happy St. Patrick's Day. You're watching WHIG-TV NewsBreak, your voice in the community. I'm Marie Torres. First in our crime news, police make a drug bust during a recent traffic stop. Late Tuesday night, a Rocky Mount police officer stopped the vehicle of 51-year-old Willie Lee Williams on the 500 block of North Wesleyan Boulevard. Upon further investigation, officers seized 68.94 grams of marijuana and assorted drug paraphernalia from inside the vehicle. Williams is now charged with possession with the intent to sell and deliver marijuana, felony possession of marijuana, speeding, and possession of drug paraphernalia. He is being held in Nash County Jail under a $6,000 secured bond. In other news, yesterday, an area organization brought in experts to discuss the environmental impacts of bringing in fourth largest poultry producer in the nation, Sanderson Farms. Held on the campus of Nash Community College, New NC Jobs held the press conference to further prove Sanderson Farms would not only be good for our area economically with the jobs and businesses it would bring, but in a strange twist, Sanderson Farms could also be good for our environment. Organizer for the group, Skip Carney, led the discussion. Here's what some of the experts said about the treatment of water and spray fields of Sanderson Farms.
And he's focused most of his career on studying and evaluating underwater.
So it could be applied on golf courses or on landscaping, that type of thing. It would be very highly treated. And I have inspected the wastewater treatment system at the plant, and it includes oxygen starved, oxygen supplemented, what's called anaerobic, aerobic, and aerobic types of waste treatment processes at the plant. So when that wastewater comes from the plant to the spray field, 97% of the nitrogen has already been removed. So what is being applied to the land and the crop will be wastewater that is highly treated and already has 97% of the nitrogen or one type of nutrient removed.
I think this is a very suitable site for spray irrigation based on hydrogeological conditions. It's a very large site. Before I agreed to work for Sanderson Farms, I asked for a list of their facilities and asked if I could randomly select one of their facilities and visited, and they agreed, and so I chose Moultrie, Georgia. And I went to Moultrie, Georgia, and observed the plant, the wastewater treatment plant, and the spray irrigation areas. Since that time, I visited the Kinston plant and did the same tours there. Just to share with you that when I first went to the Moultrie plant and saw the wastewater treatment plant, I mistakenly thought that it belonged to the city of Moultrie, because I was absolutely impressed with the wastewater treatment plant. And when I saw the chemistry of the water produced by that wastewater treatment plant, I was even more impressed. Their spray irrigation fields are so large that spray irrigation takes place in a cyclic pattern. So one area is sprayed for a while, another area is sprayed for a while at agronomic rates. These systems are not designed to produce so much spray irrigation that water ponds on the surface. That's not the way they operate. The system has to be capable of allowing infiltration of this water down to the groundwater system. And so I find that the effluent recycling facility proposed here in Nash County is very comparable to what I saw at both Moultrie, Georgia, and the city of Kinston. And I believe that the subsurface conditions are such that substantial amounts of water can flow readily through the groundwater system. And finally, again, on a personal note, I find that the wastewater treatment plants at these two facilities would be the envy of many small towns with whom I work out in the coastal plain in central parts of North Carolina. So.
Though there was a lot of information to absorb, there still was more answers that we wanted to know.
Let's say that the plant does come, but what other, I guess, regulations or inspections besides what Sanderson Farms is going to be doing? Will there be, what type of inspections from the state, or will you all even be monitoring some of the things that will be going on at the plant, again, if it does come?
Well, Chris can answer that question.
At the plant application site itself, that is a permitted facility in the United States. There will be ongoing monitoring required of that facility. In Kinston, for instance, DWQ monitors groundwater wells around the site to monitor for things like nitrates to make sure they're within drinking water standards. They also have a surface water monitoring location where they monitor, the company has to report that data as well. So the state, in terms of the permitting and monitoring standpoint, will be responsible for ongoing maintenance and enforcement.
One more question. Anything on air pollution? I think that a lot of citizens were concerned about any possible air pollution with the plant coming. Do you all have any information on any findings in that regard?
The processing plant itself will have an air permit. Let me take one step back. The wastewater treatment process has a lagoon that it is covered. From their experience from past plants, they have designed in a hard, durable cover that does not allow those gases to escape. Those gases are flammable. They will use those, like a lot of things in the poultry industry, they utilize what they have to every extent they can. So they will take those gases and operate the boilers inside the facility, and if there's any excess, they do have an air permit to burn that off. So I think the main source, or the main concern, I think, is people have about odors is this plant will stink and it will be, smell for miles. They've actually covered the most potentially problematic thing and are utilizing that for beneficial entities.
And another question. This may seem like a really simple question, but people may, this may come up in people's minds. Where does the nitrogen, where does it go if it's being cast away, I guess, with what's being done with the spray fields, and if it's going to be safer, where does this chemical go?
Great question.
Well, I'll take a quick stab at it. From a geologist perspective, the wastewater from the wastewater treatment plant will indeed have nitrogen in it. It'll have nitrogen in its various forms, like nitrates and nitrites. The concentrations will be less than, based on what I see at Moultrie and I see at Kinston, listed the state standard of 10 milligrams per liter, or parts per million. And so you're asking, what's the fate of those nutrients? Well, this water is sprayed on the land surface in these spray irrigation areas, and it's sprayed in an area where there are crops. It's also sprayed on soils that have microbes in them, and microbes begin immediately the process of converting that nitrogen to different chemical forms. Plants uptake that nitrogen. Clearly, some of that nitrogen at low concentrations can end up in the groundwater system, as is true in all agricultural areas. So the fate of the nutrients is to be consumed by plants, to be converted to different forms by microbes in the system, and some of it can end up in the groundwater system at trace concentrations generally less than a part per million or so.
Yeah, I think Mr. Dicey can speak to this some.
To add to that, the spray field would be a hay field, typically. And the amount of nitrogen, I understand, going in out of their spray field wastewater would be considerably less than a farmer would have applied if he was fertilizing that.
The group says Sanderson Farms' recent announcement does not deter their efforts to welcome the company into Nash County. They say it just gives them more time to get their valuable information out to citizens who may still have questions as to how the proposed plant would affect them. Sanderson Farms hopes to open their plant near NC Highway 97 and Interstate I-95. To see this press conference in its entirety, you can check it out on our website at www.whigtv.com. When we return on NewsBreak, a local business gets a big award, and it's our Pet of the Week. Don't go anywhere.
These pre-owned vehicles all come equipped with a lifetime warranty. Free Carfax history reports offer additional peace of mind, and they've all passed rigorous quality and safety inspections. Only then do they earn the right to wear the label DFL certified. Thinking they might be a tad expensive? Guess again. Every one of these pre-owned vehicles is priced below Kelley Blue Book value. Where? Davenport Auto Park in Rocky Mount. Your dealership for life. Who says you can't afford to drive the best?
The Country Inn & Suites is your home away from home with a staff that always treats you as family. If you or your church or company has visitors, give them a great Rocky Mount welcome with a special discount on their overnight or extended stay. Not only is the Country Inn & Suites a comfortable place, we'll spoil them with fresh cookies and complimentary breakfast. We're filled with luxuries like an indoor pool, fitness center, and a guest laundry. The Business Center includes a boardroom, connection to high-speed internet, and catering for meetings is always available. Call me, Donovan Chavis, at 252-442-0500 for a tour and or to set up your corporate rate. You're always welcome as family in the Country Inn & Suites, Rocky Mount.
Welcome back to WHIG TV Newsbreak. I'm Marie Torres. After years of service to our community, an area business gets a big award. Here's our recent talk with Brad Bobbitt, the president of Superflame Gas Company Incorporated, February's Small Business of the Month.
Well, we got a telephone call just a few weeks ago that we had been nominated for the Small Business of the Month for the month of February. And subsequently, a couple of chamber representatives came over and met with us and interviewed my brother-in-law, Ray Brin, and myself, and just asked us questions about our past and what we were doing. And a lot of it was about our philosophy and our some of our business philosophy, really, more than anything else, and some of the things we were doing to meet that philosophy.
Tell us about the services you all provide.
We provide propane more than anything else. We sell propane gas primarily to residences for heating fuels, also for cooking and hot water, and also for commercial uses in restaurants and some industrial use as well, but primarily the residential market.
How proud are you all to have received this award?
Well, it really caught us quite by surprise. We've been a member of the Chamber and have been involved with the Chamber for a long time. We have been in business in Rocky Mount for over 50 years, in fact, closer to 60 years now. And we're very impressed by the work that the Chamber does and know that we have a very good Chamber of Commerce here in Rocky Mount. So when we got the telephone call, I was quite surprised that we had even been nominated, and even more surprised that we were awarded the recognition.
All right, and finally, just tell us where you're located.
We are at 315 West Ridge Street. We've been in the same location for the entire time we've been in business. We tell people that we are between Falls Road or Peachtree Street and Pine Street. So been right here for a long time.
We congratulate Brad and his crew for such an award. You can check them out on WHIG TV show Around Town with Gene Allman on March 30th. And a lovable pet needs a home. His name is Harley. Sandra Hull and Shelley Milburn bring him in as our Pet of the Week.
The owners needed to rehome him, so I have him fostering at my house right now. He's looking for a good home. He loves everybody. He may do best in a home without too many other dogs.
He's a little bossy.
Yeah, he's the bossy type. I mean, he doesn't attack them, but you know, he acts like he wants to be number one. He's really a lap dog. He's a people dog. He gives poodle kisses, and he just loves being with people.
Okay.
He's fully vaccinated, and he was neutered Monday.
Yep. Okay. And so how did you all come across him?
A friend of mine emailed me at work, and a friend of hers from her church told her about they were going to have to rehome him and didn't want to take him to a shelter, so I took him.
And how do people get more information on how to adopt?
They can email us at spcaanc@gmail.com. And he's also listed on Pet Finder. If you want to check our Pet Finder page out, you can see his picture and more information about him.
Okay, and again, this is?
This is Harley.
All right. Harley.
Thanks, ladies. After the break, it's the latest in sports and weather. Stay with us.
All these cars come with a lifetime guarantee.
Lifetime? That's a long time!
But that's not all. They also come with free maintenance services for life and loaner cars too.
Good grief!
Where can you find protection like that? Davenport Auto Park in Rocky Mount. It's called Dealership for Life, and it comes on Buicks, GMCs, Hondas, and even pre-owned vehicles at Davenport.
Used cars too?
Davenport Auto Park in Rocky Mount. Your dealership for life. Drive the best.
When it's happening to you, you'll hear from us. WHIG TV Newsbreak is reporting on the news, issues, and stories that matter to you. Call us at 252-885-1814. Email us at marie.whigtv@gmail.com or check us streaming live at whigtv.com. We're your voice, ready to bring you the news.
The Country Inn and Suites is your home away from home with a staff that always treats you as family. If you or your church or company has visitors, give them a great Rocky Mount welcome with a special discount on their overnight or extended stay. Not only is the Country Inn and Suites a comfortable place, we'll spoil them with fresh cookies and complimentary breakfast. We are filled with luxuries like an indoor pool, fitness center, and a guest laundry. The Business Center includes a boardroom, connection to high-speed internet, and catering for meetings is always available. Call me, Donna Vachavis, at 252-442-0500 for a tour and or to set up your corporate rate. You're always welcome as family in the Country Inn and Suites, Rocky Mount.
Thanks for staying tuned. Before looking at the forecast, just two quick announcements. Tonight, there is a town hall meeting for the city of Rocky Mount. You're invited to come hear from experts regarding utilities and related issues facing Rocky Mount and eastern North Carolina. That will begin at 6 p.m. and will take place at the R.T. McCarter Center on 225 South Glendale Avenue in Rocky Mount. And this weekend, Heroes will be showing off their talent. Saturday, Heroes Got Talent event starts at 6 p.m. at the Birchwood Country Club located on 901 East Birchwood Drive in Nashville. Rocky Mount Police and Fire personnel will showcase some of their many talents along with Wilson Police and Fire personnel at the fundraiser to benefit the American Red Cross Frederick E. Turnage chapter. Admission is only $5 at the door. You can call 252-977-1720 for more information. Here to give us an outlook for the weekend is WHIG TV meteorologist Fred Holdsworth. Fred?
And happy St. Patrick's Day to you. March 17th, 2011. And the weather is going to cooperate. Big parades going on all over the country today. Big ones in New York, Savannah, Georgia, and Chicago. And in Chicago, they actually dye the river green. And I imagine after a lot of celebrating today, there'll be a lot of people in Chicago that are green also. So we'll see how it goes. And again, happy St. Patrick's Day to you. Well, let's take a look at our forecast map and see what we have going on today. Over the East Coast, big high pressure over Savannah. They'll have a great day for the parade. And New York City also. As we go further west, we'll see that rain is forecast to move into the lakes region later on today, and that's in connection with this cold front and low pressure system up over Lake Superior. That will be moving to the east. Rain and thunderstorms out ahead of that. As we go farther to the west, rain and even some snow right along the Canadian border here with Minnesota. They'll see some rain mixed with snow, and then going farther to the west, it turns to all rain. Then as you go into the higher elevations of the Rockies, snow and some heavy snow out here in the Cascades of Northern California as a Pacific storm out here pushes a cold front towards the coast. Out ahead of that, you'll see rain and thunderstorms along the coast and rain mixed with snow up in British Columbia. As we go farther to the south, looking back over the Gulf of Mexico, high pressure. This high pressure with a clockwise flow around it will bring warmer temperatures into our area, and we could see temperatures approaching 80 degrees by Saturday. Then on Sunday, we'll have a cold front come through and drop the temperature about 15 degrees down into the mid-60s. We could even see a few sprinkles out ahead of that front late Saturday afternoon and Saturday night. Well, let's take a look at our forecast and we'll see what's going on in our area. For today, it will be sunny with a high of 69, southwest wind at 6 miles per hour. Tonight, clear with a low of 45, southwest wind at 6. Friday, sunny with a high of 82, west wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday night, clear with a low of 51, winds will be calm. Saturday, sunny with a high of 79 and a north wind at 8. Saturday night, partly cloudy with a low of 45. Sunday, sunny, 63 degrees for the high. Sunday night, partly cloudy with a low of 43. And for Monday, partly cloudy, 67 with a low of 51 on Monday night. Our high temperature yesterday, 62. Our low temperature this morning was 43. And that's a look at your Rocky Mount weather. Now back to you.
Thank you, Fred. And here with us now is our sports reporter, Edward Green. Tell us what's the latest in sports, Edward.
Well, as I'm sure a lot of people at home are watching right now, the NCAA basketball tournament, we want to thank you for flipping over to get your news break briefing, and then you can flip right back over and catch the rest of the games. We got a little bit of high school baseball I want to talk about right now.
Okay.
Over the past 2 decades, baseball players at all levels are becoming faster, stronger, and smarter. And at every level under the professional ranks, aluminum bats are used instead of traditional wood. Now, these bats have been engineered so well that, coupled with the strides the players have been making, they can make for a potentially deadly combination. Steps have been taken to deaden the effects of the bats with new regulations in place for this year as well as next year in both high school and college, with composite barrels being banned this year and then handles being banned next year. Now, I spoke with Northern Nash High School baseball coach Eddie Losner this past week about the changes in policy as well as the effects he has seen stemming from them. So we are here at Northern Nash High School with Coach Eddie Losner. And Coach Losner, they have a lot of new restrictions on the bats this year. What are your thoughts on them, and just what are some of the new rules in place?
Well, you know, first of all, I think you need a degree in physics to understand some of the acronyms they come out with. But I think the things they're most concerned with is the exit speed of the ball off the bat, and the rules are put in place to make the bats more similar to wooden bats. And you know, the reason they do it obviously is for safety, and you know, I'm all for it. I think the bats got out of hand a little bit in the college game. You know, some of those kids are really big and strong, and the ball's coming in with a lot of velocity, and it was getting really dangerous out there. So I really applaud the decision to put some of the new standards in place.
real world, how have you seen the changes that have been made to the bats out there on the field?
Well, at this point, I haven't really, seen that big of a difference. One thing we do to prepare is first couple weeks of practice, we hit with the wooden bats, and after a couple of weeks of that, the guys grab that aluminum bat, and it's like a rocket launcher out there. But I know the college coaches are saying that they were seeing a really big difference in BP and in the games. But so far I haven't really seen a huge difference.
There have been a few incidents over the past decade with the aluminum bats and players getting hit. Some have really pushed to go back to wood bats. How do you feel about that? You already said you guys use wood bats a lot in the winter.
Oh, I that would make me very happy. I'm a big fan of the wooden bat, and the sweet spot's a lot smaller. It's a lot less forgiving. You're not going to see balls hit off the fist, roll in there for base hits. So I would love it. I just think it's going to be a financial issue, and there's not really that much good wood to go around. The major leagues are using them, and all the minor leagues. And from what I understand, there's some leagues in Division II that are going to be going to wood. So I would love to see it, but I really don't think that's going to happen.
Getting back to the game on the field, you guys are 3-2 this year. Looking forward as you begin conference play, what are some of the things you're looking for out of your team?
Well, we've got 5 more games before we open up conference play. We're going to open up with Hunt. So what we're trying to do now is just try to get all the pieces of the puzzle together, and see who's going to fall in what spot in the lineup, and what lineup works well together, and see how the chemistry works. And also we want to establish our roles in the pitching staff too. I think we've probably got our starters nailed down, but a couple of roles in the bullpen need to be established yet, and we're still trying to figure that out. So,
Coach Losner, thanks so much for joining us here today. And the Knights kept rolling last night with a 9-0 win over Southwest Edgecombe. So a good 4-2 start this year for Northern Nash. And we know a lot of you, I joked earlier about the college basketball tournament going on right now. Of course, Duke plays tomorrow in Charlotte at, I believe, 3 o'clock. And yes, 3 o'clock. And Carolina plays Long Island University tomorrow at 7, also in Charlotte. So if you want to make the drive, go support your team. Apparently nobody I know actually likes Carolina, so they all like Duke, so go support them. It's fun. It's going to be great basketball.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Edward.
Thanks,
appreciate that. And thank you for watching NewsBreak today. Join us next week as we continue to bring you news that's impacting our community. For WHIG TV, I'm Marie Perez. We'll see you next time.